Everybody knows you've had battles with throughout the years.
Yeah.
So at the time, they were saying that, you know, you was on drugs. That's why they didn't want to invest in you.
Right. They already invested. What you mean they didn't want to invest? They already invested. Like I said, the album was recorded, shot the video. You mean everything? That was just some bullshit. You know what that was.
Do you ever feel
Let's
like
get rid of the competition?
Do you ever feel like people at the label didn't do enough for you when they could tell that you really needed help, or do you think that you were too far gone?
No, I was never too far gone. I mean, it just all I needed was just do me like you do everybody else. You know, you don't sit there and you know, speculate about this and think about this and assume this. Just do me like you do everybody else, and it's gonna be all right, man. You know what I mean? But that never happened.
So I think with DMX too, you never, Def Jam, I feel, never put a lot into DMX. It was always the groundwork with DMX.
Katt Williams just lit the internet on fire after dropping bombshell claims about Beyonce and Jay-Z and the way they allegedly moved in the industry. He painted a picture of Beyonce running cover while Jay-Z quietly pulled strings behind the scenes, and the most shocking part, Katt says this played a role in destroying DMX's career.
What happened was, I had the crazy track record, Def Jam, everything was good. You know, I go to do the 6th album.
Jay-Z became president.
Yeah. When he first got the job, he hit me with the call like, yo, dog, MH is running the building like, yo, you good. Finish the album, shoot the video. What happened? Let's go on vacation and, you know, we don't know. What you mean you don't know? How do you listen to a whole album, pick a single, shoot a video, then don't know? Okay, I see what's really good. You're trying to eliminate the competition. You know, because at first you retire, then get me off the label, now you're back rapping again. Okay. It's all good. That's all.
According to Katt, DMX never bowed down to Jay, never played the industry games, and that's exactly why Jay couldn't stand him. Instead of being celebrated, X got blackballed hard, punished for not being someone Jay could control like the others. Katt even revealed he personally reached out to DMX because he felt the same pain, saying he too was pushed out for refusing to conform to what he called those freaky industry demands.
I ever had, I was like, we gotta sign DMX, and they laughed at me. I remember when I left the office, Tina Davis said, she knew I wanted to sign DMX. She said, DMX don't sell, your ass is fired. Jay and Dame did not believe in DMX. Jay would be like, you think he's better than me? And I'd be like, he's nice just like you. I said, if you look in the hood, there's less of like you and more like him. Yeah, but he don't want to live that. He's depressing, Gotti. And I said, I don't give a f. So Jay used to watch me grind with X, and he was off with the Hitman. And then something strange happened when I made Get At Me.
And here's where it gets messier. DMX's downfall lined up perfectly with the moment Jay stepped into power at Def Jam. Irv Gotti, who was once Jay-Z's right-hand man, even hinted this was no accident, leaving fans to question just how deep this sabotage really went. Jay-Z didn't just compete with DMX. Katt Williams claims he went all out to crush him until there was nothing left. The sabotage was so brutal that X, once one of the most powerful forces in rap, was left leaning on substances just to cope with the pressure. And here's the crazy part.
X was with it, Ja was with it.
Jay wasn't with it.
I tried 2 times to make that album happen. X was with it, Ja was with it.
Oh, you think Jay didn't want to be...
This is just my opinion. Just my opinion. I don't think Jay wanted to get in that room with X and Ja. It wasn't.
One more than the other, or both?
No, both. Jay is a very smart person. He's gonna do an album with R. Kelly. R. Kelly worships Jay-Z. Worships him.
And Kanye West.
Kanye West worships Jay-Z.
And Jay Electronica.
They all worshipped him. X and Ja don't worship Jay-Z. You're my man, but when that beat comes on, you're not above me getting at you. And that's what I do not feel Jay wanted to deal with. He didn't want to deal with... You know, I'm saying they would come at each other subliminally. So it wasn't a direct hit where they're going to say your name and things. But they coming at you. So do I want to make a whole album with these coming at me? And if I'm Jay-Z, there's a slight chance that, what is it gonna say? I'm not the nicest.
That's what right. It's not worth it.
Where's my win?
Right.
The only thing I'm seeing with this is potential loss. But now people are saying, these is better than you.
Jay and DMX weren't just two random rivals, they actually knew each other before fame, which makes what happened next feel even colder. The real drama exploded when Jay slid into the president's chair at Def Jam. Instead of lifting DMX higher, Katt and others allege Jay used that position to strangle X's career out of pure jealousy. Remember, DMX was untouchable at that point. 5 straight #1 albums on the Billboard 200 back-to-back like nobody else in the game. He had the whole industry in a chokehold, and Jay knew it. But everything shifted once Jay got the power. Suddenly, doors started closing, opportunities dried up, and DMX himself went on the record during a radio interview accusing Jay of using Def Jam's weight to drag him down.
Publicly, Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
And let's not forget what Irv Gotti, Jay-Z's own ex-best friend, spilled. According to Irv, Jay wasn't just competing with DMX, he was flat out jealous. In fact, he claims Jay went as far as sabotaging an entire joint album that DMX, Ja Rule, and Jay himself were supposed to drop back in the day. Why? Because X crushed him on every single track. Irv said straight up that Jay couldn't handle getting outshined, so he pulled the plug on the whole project. That move alone set the tone for the messy relationship they carried for years. Even when Jay and DMX linked up on a few songs later, insiders say the tension was still bubbling under the surface. The respect was never fully there. It was all smoke and mirrors for the public, while behind the scenes they were clashing until the very end.
Was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming, and the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? And maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand, see? I mean, I'm just speculating.
Irv even revealed that this legendary, never-before-heard album with JX and J. Rule was completely shelved because Jay couldn't stomach DMX stealing the spotlight. Now here's where the whispers get even darker. Some people out there are claiming Jay-Z's jealousy toward DMX went way beyond music beef, with wild rumors suggesting he may have even played a role in X's downfall. and that Beyonce allegedly knows the truth but stays silent to protect him. And honestly, can anyone be surprised? That's her husband. Loyalty like that can make people hide the ugliest secrets. But the chatter doesn't stop there.
Truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we talk about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy, right, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves and is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? 35 members of the cast and crew have never brought up that Ricky Smiley was gonna play Money Mike. No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. Takes any of them, all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. People want to know, well, why did he get blackballed?
Yeah,
because in 30 years I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
you will tell it.
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agency.
Streets have been buzzing that Beyonce herself supposedly has some skeletons tucked away and that Jay has been right there helping her keep those stories buried. Jaguar Wright, who never holds back, once accused both Jay and Beyonce of doing sinister things, even saying they lured people into their home and held them hostage to break them down. Jaguar also dropped bombshell accusations linking them to tragic deaths in the industry, from Aaliyah to Jay's late mistress, Kathy White, who was reportedly pregnant at the time she passed. When it comes to Kathy White, the rumors get even more chilling. Some fans dug deep and believe Beyonce herself may have slipped a confession into her music. In her song Daughters, she painted some graphic scenes that many think weren't just lyrics, but coded references to Kathy's tragic end. Beyonce sings, "Your body laid out on these filthy floors. Your bloodstains on my custom couture. Bathroom attendant, let me write it in. She was a big fan. I really tried to stay cool, but your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do." Those words shook listeners, and once people connected them to Kathy, the speculation exploded. Official reports said Kathy died of a brain aneurysm, but Jaguar Wright has long claimed it wasn't natural at all, much insisting Jay-Z and Beyonce had a hand in it. According to Jaguar, Jay made the call to take Kathy out because Beyonce had found out about their affair. And here's the wildest part. Jaguar claims Beyonce was ready to handle it herself if Jay didn't. And the deeper you dig, the darker it gets, because Kathy White's story is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. People online have been pointing out that whenever someone gets too close to exposing Jay-Z or threatens Beyonce's spotless image, tragedy always seems to follow. Fans started connecting dots between Kathy, Aaliyah, and even other industry names who either lost their lives suddenly or saw their careers mysteriously vanish. Jaguar Wright swore that Kathy's death was no accident, calling it a cleanup job, and insisted Beyonce's song wasn't just art but a cold confession in plain sight. The shocking part? Beyonce has never addressed those rumors. Not a word, not even to shut them down, and that silence only made the whispers grow louder. On top of that, insiders have long claimed Jay-Z was ruthless about protecting his empire, using his power to silence rivals, and Beyonce, as his partner, allegedly played the role of protector by staying quiet or covering up when needed. It paints a chilling picture of a power couple moving like a unit, one pulling strings in the industry, the other hiding the evidence in plain sight. Now circling back to DMX, the heat around Jay-Z got so intense that he eventually had to step out and address the rumors himself. Jay claimed that despite the tension, there was always love between him and X. But if you listen to Irv Gotti's side of the story, it's clear that love wasn't the word to describe their relationship. Behind the scenes, the vibe was cold, and many believe Jay's hand in DMX's downfall went much deeper than just label politics. Word in the streets is that Katt Williams himself suspects Jay had something to do with DMX's tragic end, saying Jay rejected him simply because X refused to bow down and play puppet. And honestly, if anybody knows what it feels like to be punished for not selling out, it's Katt Williams. Katt even revealed how early in his career the industry tried to break him down. While filming Friday After Next, producers allegedly wanted him to shoot a humiliating scene with Terry Crews, claiming it would be hilarious. But Katt said no, flat out refusing to be part of it, even though this was his very first movie role. He told Ice Cube and the team that there was nothing funny about the scene, and taking that stand nearly cost him his shot in Hollywood. And that's exactly why fans draw such a strong connection between DMX and Katt Williams, two men who refused to play Hollywood's dirty little games, and two men who paid the price for standing their ground. DMX wouldn't kiss the ring, and Katt wouldn't let himself be humiliated for a cheap laugh. And what happened? Both were blackballed, silenced, and dragged through the mud by the very industry they once carried on their backs. Katt has said many times that the moment you refuse to bend, the machine flips on you. They strip away opportunities, rewrite the narrative, and suddenly you're labeled difficult, unstable, or even crazy. Sound familiar? Because that's exactly how they treated DMX, once the biggest star in the world, suddenly painted as a troubled artist who couldn't hold it together. And here's the kicker. Insiders whisper that Jay-Z played a key role in pushing those narratives about X, making sure doors stayed closed while he built up his own empire. Meanwhile, Beyonce's silence only fueled the suspicion that she was standing guard, protecting both her husband and the empire they were building together. And it wasn't just DMX. The industry came hard for Katt Williams too, once they realized he wasn't going to let himself be molded or used as a pawn for their agenda. They tried to break him, bury him, and shut him out. But unlike X, Katt lived to tell the story. DMX sadly didn't make it out, and that's exactly why Katt has been calling out Beyonce, accusing her of knowing way more about X's death than she's letting on. Katt allegedly believes the truth about who really took DMX out will only surface once Beyonce decides to open her mouth. He's been hinting that she holds the key to secrets the world has been denied, and that her silence is what's protecting the very people responsible. Of course, fans had their own reactions. One person commented, "Let's clear that up first. Beyonce knows exactly what happened to X, and the silence is louder than any statement she could make." Another said the fact that Katt is risking everything to speak out shows just how serious he is. DMX was never the type to bow down. Not to Diddy, not to Jay-Z, not to anybody. He said it loud and clear in interviews, exposing the dark side of the industry without a shred of fear. And that's what made him so powerful and so dangerous to the people pulling strings behind the scenes. Fans still talk about how he wasn't just a rapper, he was a poet, a truth teller, a man with a voice that could shake your soul. Nobody could deliver pain, power, and honesty the way X did. But here's the real question. Was his refusal to play the game the very thing that cost him his life? And if so, why has Beyonce stayed so silent? Is she really hiding details about what happened to DMX? And could Jay-Z actually have been behind it all? I need to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because this story is far from over, and you'll want to be here when the next bombshell drops.